What's going on, guys? Thanks for checking out the video. Today I'm going to be working on my Springfield Armory M1A Supermatch chambered in 308. I'm going to be swapping off this cheek rest. As you can see, it sits pretty far back from the rear of the scope, and unfortunately this elastic band is stitched on both sides, so it doesn't allow for too much movement. I've got to push this far forward as I can get it, but still not giving me the proper eye relief cheek weld combination that I'm looking for. So I'm still going with the QD style cheek rest, and one of the most popular versions is made by Bradley. I ordered it directly from them, and they were actually nice enough to write the options that I chose directly on the package. So hopefully everything that's written here is actually what's inside, but we'll find that out here in a minute. And the main reason that I'm going with a QD style cheek rest is because I didn't want to drill into this stock or do any other permanent modifications to it. Because, as I mentioned, this is a M1A Supermatch, which has been discontinued by Springfield Armory. And a couple of the differences between this and the other models is this is actually glass bedded from the factory, and it uses a oversized stock, which you can see how much wider it is than the upper forearm all along here. Unfortunately, I don't have another M1A with me today, or I'd show you the side-by-side comparison, but it's a pretty significant difference. So, like I said, the Bradley seems to be a popular choice. If you guys are running something different, I'd be curious to know what it is. Feel free to leave those suggestions down in the comment section below. But give me a second, and we'll go ahead and get set up and start getting this thing swapped out. So before we go any further, whether it's YouTube policy or some armchair commando gets all butthurt and decides to bitch and moan to YouTube that I didn't show you that the firearm is safe, I'll go ahead and do that now. I will tell you, I do have a snap cap in this rifle. That's all it is a cap. It's basically a dummy round. It is not live ammunition. But this is used to test the functionality of magazines, the functionality of the firearm itself, and it can also protect like the firing pin from getting damaged when dry firing. And these are a great tool to use during dry firing exercises. So highly recommend these. I try to use these in all my rifles, pistols, and shotguns when they're available. So now we can verify that our chamber is empty. I'm not going to jerk the action back and forth a dozen times to show you that it doesn't have anything else in the chamber. Obviously no magazine, and I don't feel the need to do that to show you that the firearm pretty much is going to function properly. So now we can go ahead and focus on the actual cheek rest. And I actually do like this cheek rest. I might do a review on this cheek rest itself on a different video. It just doesn't fit my needs on this firearm. But as I said, it sits pretty far back from the scope. And from the end of the cheek rest to the end of the scope, we're looking at about 5 inches. And even though the lens is recessed into the eyepiece about half an inch, we're going to go ahead and call that 5 inches. So hopefully the Bradley gets us a little bit closer. And like I said, here is the package from Bradley's cheek rests. And I said they wrote what I ordered on the package. Chalk stands for chocolate, which is going to be the color. Wrapped stands for raptor, which is the texture. I don't know if it's necessarily a dinosaur texture, but on their website they say that it is one of the best matches for any wood grain stock. It has a leather grain impression on the kydex for a rich look. So we'll see if that's the case. Copper stands for the antiqued copper screw pack that I also ordered. So the cheek rest itself, I think, runs about $115. The Raptor finish is an additional $5, and the antique screws is another $5. So with shipping, brought the total to just under $140, and hopefully it's worth it. So we'll go ahead and dig into this and see what they got. So let's go ahead and get into this. And send everything in a nice little pouch. And we got a bunch of stuff. America's Best Cheek Rest. Instructions. This should be the antique screws. Well, those might be just the back side. Oh, sorry. The antique screws are already attached. And I didn't know that they were going to include something like that, but let's go Brandon. So there's no straps. Yeah, this thing seems to be pretty nice. Yeah, so I guess they sent me the original screws if I wanted to switch them from the antique screws. But I do like the looks of these. I'll probably go ahead and stick with that. And let's see what else we got. Oh. So I'm not sure if I'm missing any pieces that I dropped on the floor. I think I've got everything. Regardless, I don't think it's imperative that I need any other parts. So I will tell you that out of these extra packages, I've got 4 of these rubberized washers. We've got 7 black screws with a slot in it. We have 4 of the copper colored ones without the slot. They're just smooth. And then we have 6 of the black screws without the slot in it. They're just smooth. 2 extra straps, a sticker, business card. We have our cheek rest, which comes with a foam pad. And they recommend if you get the rifle wet, I guess if you're out shooting in the rain or something and the pad gets wet, take it off, let it dry before putting it back on. I'm sure that's to keep from it discoloring. And they also say that it can actually melt itself to whatever stock you have. So keep that in mind. And it contours with this lower part of the cheek rest pretty well. So kind of nice. And actually on the inside here, you can see where the flat screws are going to sit, both sides. So I guess I could take the copper ones and replace it if I really wanted to. I'm not too worried about it, but if you wanted to do that, you could. And also you can use this cheek rest without this upper piece if you just needed a little bit of an increase in height. So I'm obviously going for a little bit more. So this can actually be used as a screwdriver to take these screws off, but I am going to remove it from the cheek rest itself because I don't want it to scratch or dent the stock. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. And we can go ahead and replace this. Wrong way. So I'll just leave that like that. So yeah, pretty cool. Let's see, we can go ahead and get to the cheek rest itself. And actually this has a rubberized pad that's stitched into place as opposed to a removable like this. It looks like it dried out the stock a little bit, but the shine can be brought back out with a little bit of linseed oil or mineral oil. So there isn't any permanent damage to this. We'll go ahead and get this somewhat fitted. Right there should look good. And then we'll go ahead and just drop this into place. And these things can be a pain sometimes. So let's do this. There we go. Updated on that one. Let's try and slide this forward a little bit. Nice and firm. And that rubberized pad will keep this from moving back and forth or sliding around. So feels like it's on there pretty good. Go ahead and tighten this up. This one. And this one. That feels pretty sturdy. So go ahead and check measurement on this. And we are, looks like right at around 3 inches, which is good because the eye relief on this scope is rated for I think 3.7 to 5.3 inches for optimal eye relief. So this should work out really well. Another nice thing about the upper part of this cheek rest is that you don't necessarily have to leave it even like that. Depending on the comb shape of your stock, you can actually adjust it. If you needed the front part up higher or lower, you can always raise or lower the front and rear, and vice versa. So it seems like a pretty versatile cheek rest. Looking forward to testing it out. We'll go ahead and get this thing out to the range and see how she does. So thanks for sticking around. I apologize for all my bumbling, but I really appreciate it. If something like this has interested you or helped you out, if you can give us a thumbs up, we'd appreciate it. Remember, your Second Amendment rights are always under attack. Every gun law is 100% unconstitutional. So thanks again for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.